Last time on Trials and Tribulations.
Hi, Maya again.
And Phoenix again. In case you missed anything, we're gonna fill you in on this case. Well, investigation's over, and we found out that MC Bomber is a virus, Glenelg has a gambling problem, and Furio Tigre is a manipulative asshole.
Yeah, he even made Mr. Armstrong punch Nick in the face.
Really? Did you really have to include that?
Well, it did happen, didn't it?
Anyway, the big trial starts today on Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Next.
See you there.
Good morning, Mr. Wright.
Good morning, Maggey.
So, what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well. It ended on a giant mystery.
That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet.
Are you okay, Nick?
Huh? Oh, yeah, of course.
I saw that! That little flash of doubt in your eyes!
Ned, no! That wasn't doubt. That was, determination!
Why don't I believe you?
It's nearly time, Maggey. You'd better get going to the defendant's seat. He's got this, alright?
Roger. Don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you.
Hey, pal.
Hey, Detective Gumshoe.
Quit stressing Maggey out. She doesn't need that.
How did you know she was stressed?
I was watching through the doorway.
Oh, that's not creepy.
You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here. Maybe this'll help.
Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too? Weird.
Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing.
Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles.
This is the small bottle that turned up in Trebian's kitchen a couple of days ago.
Wow, look at all these little bottles. Whoa.
Ah, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor.
Hey, wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different from all the others.
Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either.
And it doesn't smell. Nope.
We finally got the analysis results back from the lab.
So, what is it? Is it the poison?
I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication.
Medication?
Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently.
For ears? You mean...
Yeah, it's the medication Glenelg was using for his ruptured eardrum.
What was Glenelg's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that?
Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour, and they might have gotten something on the prints, but...
Well, that's gonna weaken its impact as a piece of evidence.
Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today, you got it?
Today's trial. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done, or my name isn't Phoenix Wright!
Court is now in session for the trial of Maggey Byrde.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor.
Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday, we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems.
The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand.
Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet, the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear.
It It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick?
Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world you see keeps turning, and we must turn with it.
You've lost me already, Mr. Godot.
Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules.
Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles?
The old guy wasn't just throwing seeds in here. He was throwing us off the scent. And today, I'll prove it.
Very well. Let the first witness take the stand.
And you are, little lady?
Oh, bonjour, everyone! I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and head chef of the Tribulations restaurant. Enchanté!
Forgive me for asking, witness, but, are you a woman?
Ooh la la, monsieur! As you can see, I am la pert and perky gentleman, no?
On the day of the incident, you were in Trabian's kitchen. Isn't that right?
With you, monsieur? Everything feels right.
Ha!
Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy?
Very well. Your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Tribulations.
Oui, volontiers. When it all happened, there were just 2 customers at my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art decor that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. La cup, la earpiece, and the glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse, no?
Mirror?
Oui, un grand mirror. The most enormous mirror.
And suddenly, the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it.
That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front.
What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay, let's see here. Had a large mirror between the tables. Is that a contradiction? Maybe. That has to do with the floor plans. Whoops.
Hey.
No. Yeah, I think it might have something to do with the floor plans. Let's see.
Objection!
Never mind. What about this crime photo?
Objection!
Make a choice already, please!
Maya, shut up. I'm confused as fuck as it is. I just want to find a contradiction here. You know what? Screw it. I'll tell him to hold it.
Hold it!
How big of a mirror are we talking about here?
Both. Something about 4 meters wide and, oui, about 2 meters high.
Let's see if 1 meter is about 1 yard. Oh, holy glass in a frame! That's huge!
I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually.
The ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember.
Man, no. But I decided not to go through with it in the end.
What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not? If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggey Byrde's testimonies.
But...
Objection! You didn't ask right. You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work.
What?
A mirror was delivered to Tribune the day before the incident.
Really?
As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end.
This just doesn't add up. Even if the mirror was delivered to Tribune, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime.
If you want to doubt someone, try look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back will be dubious enough.
So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror. Maybe not. Let's see here. What if we try presenting stuff on this?
Objection!
What about this?
Objection!
Nope. Okay, press.
Hold it!
Everything. You would have seen everything in reverse?
Oui.
Hey, Nick. We should take a sec and think about what old CD said in his testimony.
How did he phrase it again?
The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup. His left hand!
If he saw everything he described reflected in the mirror, then everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh?
And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it?
Huh.
It's kind of hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but...
Do you think old CD saw everything through a reflection?
if he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony.
But that just makes the situation worse for Maggey. Come on, Nick. There's gotta be something in the old man's testimony. We just gotta dig deeper. You know, like Inception.
Okay, this is a hard one here. Let's see. Perhaps that was what the old man was looking at. So if we tried presenting Glenn here, maybe. Well, it says he saw everything in reverse. I think I was supposed to present there. So let's try presenting Glenn at this statement and see what happens.
Objection!
There we go.
The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we?
The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs.
So, to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were both on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all of that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side.
Exactement. You see, monsieur? Now that you think about it, it is not so hard, no?
Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, then why in the name of my attorney's badge is that HMD now on the wrong side of his head?
Order! Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye.
Objection! How bitter. Trey, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time.
Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different?
You don't understand the way the witness thinks.
How he thinks?
You would remember this, I presume.
The I broke the vase, sorry, apology, Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony?
Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg?
Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece.
And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear. Do you hear? His left ear! Huh. Well, trite.
That's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever.
Wow, I thought he was really old seedy there for a sec. Godot's good.
Enough! I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash.
Yeah, thanks, Maya.
A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears.
Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at the plans of the restaurant. Alors, is everyone sitting comfortably? The mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. That was the seat at the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting. After a terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
I see no problems with the explanation we've just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror.
What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this.
Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy over there breaking out in a cold sweat again.
Stop being so transparent, Phoenix.
You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that?
Volunteer, of course.
Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination if you please. Okay, man, this testimony's hard. I think it might be the French. It was in the middle of the restaurant dividing the two halves. There's only one seat from which you could have seen the image of the victim. That was the seat at the table next to the victims. It was where the old man was sitting. After the terrible accident occurred, I moved the mirror so it wasn't in the way, but naturally I did not touch anything else. Okay, maybe if we present the plans here, something won't make sense.
Objection!
Nope, okay, let's press. God dang it.
Hold it!
So, why can you only see the victim from that particular seat?
Mais, monsieur, it is obvious, no? If you look at the plans, you will understand. The victim would have been reflected in the mirror like so. If you were sitting at the table next to him, you would see everything, no?
So that's the seat old Seedy was sitting in on that day. When the poisoning happened.
The old man was sitting at the table next to the victim. Why do I get the feeling this is complete bullshit?
Okay, so I think there is a problem with this. The question is...
Objection!
This piece of evidence contradicts with testimony we have heard, Your Honor.
The crime photo?
Bingo. This photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist.
What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright?
Should not exist? Sounds like you're trying to describe yourself trite.
Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is this something that should not exist in this photo?
Alright, I've made it this far. I've got this. Just think back, Phoenix. What did Mr. Kudo say? Wait, he said he broke the vase at the table.
Take that!
I think it's pretty obvious. Wait a minute, shit. Think again, think.
Take that!
Yes, I got it. This is what should not be in the picture. Yeah, I'm sure of
sorry,
it.
I'm afraid you've lost me.
Damn it.
I suppose it's up to me to clarify the defense's claim. The something that shouldn't exist is clearly...
Hold it!
Wait, I've changed my mind, Your Honor. The last thing I need right now is a scalding hot coffee shower. Ow.
Dang it. Okay, that's not it.
You know what? Let's get dangerous.
Take that!
This way! Actually, no, let's not get dangerous. God damn it, Phoenix, think! Something should not exist in this photo. I came up with this. Wait, maybe it's Glenn.
Take that!
This... Fuck! Maybe I should have taken that extra hour of sleep. You know, watch it be the entire vase this entire fucking time.
Take that!
I think it's pretty obvious this should not be in the picture.
Oh, that is right. What possible connection does this have with the witness's testimony?
Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table. Of course, it's the simple answer I always overlook. I'm sure Mia's really proud of me now, because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence.
Victor Kudo's testimony, of course.
Take that!
There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Objection! Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from.
Bingo, Godot. There is only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror on Tribulations that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie.
Mon Dieu!
Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase. While the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene.
Objection!
Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary in his own words. I did not touch anything except the mirror.
Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself?
I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day.
In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in his ear in which he couldn't hear?
You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trite, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw?
If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it!
Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick?
There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya.
What do you mean?
Remember what Maggey told us? There was another man at the victim's table. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up.
Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer.
Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet, there is one very simple answer that clears all of them up.
And what is that?
The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events.
What?
Yes, you heard me right. The victim Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an impostor, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the impostor's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece on his left ear by mistake.
Order, order in the court. Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom.
Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh?
Oh, the beard's gonna turn you into ash later. What did you say?
Trite, are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Someone pretended to be Glen Elg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo.
Get real, Trite. Why would anyone want to do that?
Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was...
The servant girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. That's the server girl, right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well.
It's so hard to believe, but...
There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggey Byrde in the act of poisoning the coffee.
Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but... It's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening.
That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct?
Oh la la! This is most difficult for me.
Objection!
No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Très Bien that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell us the whole truth about what happened.
The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day.
Oh, oui. The victim, Monsieur Elg, he came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got word he won the lottery, Monsieur Elg became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for a phony to do the acting.
Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in that restaurant after all?
Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. The Beard doesn't tolerate perjury. I will decide how to punish you later. Probably just by destroying you. And your restaurant.
Oui.
For now, we will hear your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm willing to bet he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination.
All right. Well, I have proof, as a matter of fact, that there was another customer in the restaurant. And that proof happens to be Glenn's calendar. Wherever that is. There it is.
Objection!
How is it not Glenn's calendar? Glenn's calendar clearly shows he meant to meet with Furio Tigre. Let's, press this then.
Hold it!
So your only customers were Mr. Kudo and the victim.
Objection!
How many times do you need to ask the same thing, Trite? You'd never catch me drinking the same blend twice, except for Godot 107. You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant. But you're wasting your time. You can't grind bird seed to make coffee, if you catch my drift.
But there's a hole in this testimony somewhere. I'm sure of it.
Okay, he said 5 minutes later.
Hold it!
And what were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill.
I am a multi-talented woman, monsieur.
Sorry, what do you mean?
There is la renowned chef, Jean Armstrong, and la tragic poet, Clarice Armstrong.
Clarice?
Oui, I was writing a poem. An angry tale of a chef in $500,000 of debt. Cooking for a man who won $500,000 on a lottery. It is called Pourquoi. It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for la cote.
Please don't.
There was no time for the phony to do the acting. Well, I disagree. Is this where I present Glenn's calendar?
Objection!
No? Okay, you're saying there's no time. Well, there's gotta be something that says that there's time. Oh, it's the matches. Okay, it's gotta be the matches, because we found those in Tribulations. Or in the Tender Lender.
Objection!
No? Okay, we're not there yet. Fine, let's, press this then.
Hold it!
You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred?
I asked la old man to call from la payphone.
By your own argument, right? The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so that the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, the opportunity would completely disappear.
Indeed.
Bien, it seems la shadow of doubt has been lifted, n'est-ce pas?
I guess Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case, huh?
Abso-positively. Someone was impersonating Mr. Elg, and I refuse to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all.
But if you're right, wouldn't Maggey have noticed too?
She fell unconscious as the incident occurred, remember?
You mean that's when the phony staged his act?
We'll know for sure once I find a hole in this testimony.
Right.
If only I knew where the fuck the hole is! Approximately 5 minutes, there has to be some bullshit about this. What piece of evidence contradicts that think? Wait, maybe the cyanide.
Objection! Damn it!
No time for a phony to do the acting. What am I missing here?
Loaded from one slot? What is that even supposed to mean?
That's been flashing for a while. I have no idea either, Maya. You know what? Fuck it. You only present once. Yo, Po, let's present everything.
Are you serious?
Objection!
No? Okay.
Oh my god, Nick, no.
Objection!
I cannot believe you're doing this.
Objection!
Nick? No! What?
Objection!
Nick?
Objection!
I think we need to stop and ask ourselves, what would Mia do?
Objection!
I cannot believe you're actually doing this!
Objection!
Nick?
Objection!
Nick? Oh, you put that down right now! Don't you dare, no!
Objection!
Nick?
Objection!
And you gave me weird looks for thinking that he'd work at Tribulations!
Objection!
You're really going through with this, aren't you?
Objection!
Cyanide again? Really? Really?
Objection!
You know what? I give up. I give up.
Objection!
How is that flower not dead? Mr. Armstrong's been picking at that thing for the last who knows how long.
Objection!
Really, Nick? You've been objecting no less than 15 times in the last minute.
I will find this contradiction if it's the last thing I do!
Wow, Nick.
Come on! Wait, what?
Go!
Maya,
Go!
what just happened?
Did you put something in my burger?
Wait, why would I even do such a thing, and why would putting something in your burger have anything to do, holy sh... Maya!
What?
Did you see that?
See what?
That white floating thing.
What floating white thing?
That floating ghost white thing! I just saw it a moment ago, I don't know where it is now.
Hey, the music's back.
Oh, hey. You're right. Oh, thank God. Oh my God, there it is, Maya! There! I told you it was real!
Oh my God, it turned into a hand. Get it away from me, Nick!
There must have been something in those weenies. You drugged half those weenies, didn't you?
You know what? I think it is an appropriate time to say that as a quick FYI, you're eating the rest of those weenies after.
No, Maya, you can't be doing this right now. I have to do this.
Nuh-uh. I've seen way too many weenies today for me to change my mind on this.
Maya, stop.
You've got a bigger mouth. Be the adult. You can handle them.
Good night, everybody.
You know, if Mr. Edgeworth were around,
Stop.
I could eat them all in one go.
You stop it right
No,
now!
it's true. We're back on.
Hold it! By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct?
Oui, he comes often for my special coffee.
I drink your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience.
Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome anytime.
I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more.
So old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. So you're saying that not much time elapsed between when the victim and Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oui, that is correct.
But that still leaves the possibility that something happened in that gap of time. And by your recollection, how much time you would say elapsed?
Let me see. Approximately 2 minutes, I would say.
2 minutes. That's all?
It seems unlikely that anything untoward could have happened in such a short time.
Damn it. I knew I shouldn't have pursued this line of questioning. Wait a minute. Hold it! Time for Turbo Lawyer Power! Out of curiosity, about what time is it when Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oh no, I cannot remember, monsieur.
I believe we were told by a witness yesterday.
The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir.
Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness?
The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived. So the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10 p.m., no?
Just after 2, huh?
Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. Oh, you are wonderful.
I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony.
Oui, monsieur judge. Everything I do it for you and your beard.
Merci bien. Oh, that's French, isn't it? Ha 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 ha. Also no homo.
I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood.
He's even humming a song to himself. Oh, boy.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah?
Do you ever have this feeling when you finally get to an interesting part of the cross-examination and all of a sudden you feel like you're about to get cut up?